Remember that magazine I was talking about? I actually do win a couple of these matches, starting with this one. So I do switch to my Gyarados right away, and like I said I would in my last video. Then I'm expecting a wild charge, so actually they baited me. So they are scared of my Gyarados for some reason, and they switch out. Um, so that was a mistake by then, and they don't shield the outrage. So I'm just gonna let this go. And then I come in with my Swampert to farm up energy to take on that Magnezone. Oh, they have double steel. So I'm gonna go Hydro Cannon because they have 2 shields left, and they don't shield this one. I shield because I gotta save my Swampert, so I shield it. Go Magnezone again because once again they have 2 shields. And I'm gonna pretend that I have Earthquake. And I over farm because I know that if one Hydro Cannon will take it out. And they still have a shield. But I'm still able to win this somehow. So they shield it, and I take the shield. I meant swap to Togekiss to take the charge move. And then they burn all their energy. I'm thinking this Magnezone doesn't have Wild Charge, and that's why. And I am able to charm it down to enough that I can Hydro Cannon it in the end, so me charging all that energy was good. Here is another Magnezone lead, but this time I lose because I'm dumb. Okay. So Togekiss, I switch right out to Gyarados. And I'm expecting a Wild Charge or Shield. And right here, I actually should have not shielded this and then come in with my Swampert to farm. And then also I messed up again. I had an Outrage ready. I should have just thrown the Outrage. And here I'm able to switch clocks. And here is where I am not smart in that apparently you can outpace Metagrosses to Earthquakes. The Hydro Cannons, well, obviously, they had 2 shields, so I had to throw Hydro Cannons. But, yeah, that would have been a waste to throw Earthquake when they were going to shield both. But apparently you can outpace it, and then, yeah. And then, obviously, I can't get to a Flamethrower in time. Sad. So a lot of mistakes that way. So here's the last Magnezone lead I faced in the remainder of my sets from the first day of Master League. So I do switch into Gyarados, consistent with my developed strategy. They come with a Snorlax, so I'm gonna burn all my shields on this, because I wanna save whatever's in my Snorlax, my Swampert for the Magnezone. They don't bite for the shield bait, so I just keep going Aqua Tail, and then I farm it down with Waterfall, and then Dragonite comes in, and they don't shield this one, which is good for me. And I'm going to let this go, and then I come in with Togekiss, but they make a mistake, and they switch their Magnezone, and then so I'm able to get my Hydro Cannons off, and they shield, but because they're going to use a Wild Charge, their defense is going to drop, which allows me to Mud Slap it down. Yeah, and then I don't get to the Hydro Cannon, but that's okay, because I have my Togekiss, and I can charm down that Dragonite. Here's a battle that I definitely should have won, looking back, and how I messed up simply because I was facing something that was unknown, a Tangrowth. So right here, I have to be afraid of the Rock Slide, and my backline is weak to grass, so I'm going to double shield this. And I do chunk it down. I shield again because I want to keep my Togekiss alive. And then here's where I mess up. They switch into Machamp and I throw a Rock Slide. And I don't realize that this is ineffective. And I should have stayed in. And because I know I could have taken that Rock Slide, but I switched out fearing the Rock Slide when I said before that I can tank it. And I wanted to save the Togekiss for, what's it called? Tangrowth. But I should have just saved the, what's it called? The Machamp would have died, and then they would have brought back the Tangrowth, and I could have gotten some charms down. See, they have to farm up right here, so in order to get to that Rock Slide that they're eventually going to throw at me. And then the Gyarados in the back, I could have gotten it with my Outrage or Swampert. Could have chunked it down. And then I could have still had, I wouldn't had, actually I would have, if I had saved that Ancient Power for my Togekiss, I would have been able to get to that, for that Gyarados. And then if I was charming down the Machamp and the, what's it called? The Tangrowth, then I would have had enough energy to give an Ancient Power to the Gyarados and knock it out. So this was poorly played. And I threw a Rock Slide at the end because I'm afraid I'm going to get taken out. But then barely any health left on both Pokemon, and then I lost. Here's another battle where we lose. This time it's to a Gyarados lead. So we lose because we don't save our Togekiss, but also because we don't have any counters for Gyarados. Swampert's not going to do anything. Gyarados is not going to do anything. I guess we could have done a mirror match. I should have switched to my Gyarados to save my Togekiss, to be honest, because there's a Dragonite in the back. So I do win this matchup, but I burn both shields, so I'm down 2 shields. I am able to get this Flamethrower off on the Metagross, but so if he came in with Gyarados and they came out with Meteor, what's it called? Metagross, that would have been fine for us. We could have used both our shields on the Metagross and then saved all that energy, that Aqua Tail that I mentioned. And then we could have used that Aqua Tail, or at least used an Outrage on the Gyarados. But now we're just going to die because we have no shields. And then I quit because Dragonite. Here's another battle that we lose. This one we have a Metagross lead. And I do the same thing where I don't save my Togekiss. Actually, I switched right away, but I should have switched to my Gyarados right away. I meant my Swampert right away. Because then, I mean, they're going to switch. I guess if they swap out to their Togekiss, then I could have done 2 Hydro Pumps on the Togekiss. But then here I messed up again when I should have just came in with my Swampert. But instead I come in with my Togekiss, and now it's just going to die. And then I won't be able to save it for whatever's in the back. Honestly, my strategy should be to save my Gyarados for the Metagrosses, and then save my Togekisses for all the dragons and all the things weak. Because here I lose. Actually, here I still had a chance. This was a really close one, but they shield baited me, and that's how I lost. Here is actually going to be a Sand Tomb, but I shielded it. Here's their last attack, and it is an Outrage, and I die. Here's a loss where I don't take my own advice. Well, I take my advice, but I have like conflicting advice. So here's a Togekiss. In my last video, I said that facing a Togekiss, I should stay in. Instead, I bring in my Gyarados because, like I said, I wanted to save my Togekiss. And then, but look how much damage I'm able to do with the Gyarados on the Garchomp. So if I had double shielded this Garchomp, I could have farmed it down, and then we would have been fine. but then the Gyarados, and then I would have Swampert with whatever is left in the back. Don't remember what's left. Oh, Swampert against Gyarados. So it's not going to do too great either. So this is when today I'm going to start using, actually at my last set, I did start using a different Pokemon because I can't have two Pokemon which are weak. It's so weak. They're similar move types, so they're not going to be very helpful. Oh, here I overformed thinking that one Hydro Cannon was going to take out the Togekiss, but it does not. So I have this shield, and then just messed up my whole plans. I don't even want to, yeah, I just lose this big. Then Gyarados has an attack, and they're just going to waterfall me down before I get to a Hydro Cannon.